Good day guys, T90 here. So today I will be talking about Chou's builds, emblems, skills, combos, and some tips. So before we dive right into it, this tutorial is for assassin Chous. Chous that are meant for picking out enemies one by one. This isn't a tank build Chou guide, this isn't a fighter Chou build guide. And I want to explain that Chou is not a very popular fighter, and Chou can be countered by multiple of heroes and can easily be taken out of the game in an instant. So using him in a game requires a lot of skills, especially in the current meta. Chou has 3 roles. He can be a tank, he can also be a fighter, he can also be an assassin. These are 3 main roles for Chou's. Tank being the frontliner, being the tankiest of everybody in your team, going front line and taking all the damage. While fighter, you build him with attack and also defense. While assassin, you just build him with 100% damage. And the only defense part you will have there will be your boots, if you are planning to build boots on Chou at least. So let's dive right into his skills, shall we? So let's start with his passive. Chou's passive, only fast, it boosts his damage for 1 hit, doing 180% damage on his first base attack. It will activate every time he moves 5 yards. It also slows the enemies and decreases the defense. The decreased defense can stack up to 2 times. Now onto his first skill. His first skill, Jit Kun Do, I don't know if I pronounced that right. It has 3 phases. This skill deals physical damage, and on the 3rd strike, it will knock up enemies, and if you hit an enemy hero on the 3rd phase of the skill, it will instantly reset Chou's second skill, which we lead on to next. His second skill, Shan Po, I'm not sure again if I pronounced that right. It makes Chou temporarily immune to crowd control. It gives him a quick dash, and when timed correctly, it will ignore the enemy's crowd control effects like stuns and slows. Airborne also counts, but it's a little hard on that part. It also grants a shield, making it an essential skill for both defense, mobility, and running away. Now onto his final skill, his ultimate, the Way of the Dragon. This skill allows Chou to kick an enemy in a certain direction, knocking them back to either your team or to a separate location. It is great for taking out enemies one at a time. It is also a skill that you can use to bring enemies to your tower, so I think we all had that moment when we fight an enemy Chou and then they just kick us towards the tower, which gets us killed right after because of it. Anyway, now that's done. Let's go on to his combos. Let's get onto his combos, shall we? Chou has a lot of combos. So let's start with his easiest combo out there. I call this combo the spam combo, because it is just, you just spam his skills, going forward or going away from the enemy. Going to the enemy, you use your skill, your first skill 2 times, second skill, then first skill again to reset your second skill, then use your second skill again, then your ult. While running away, you use his second skill, then off his first skill, then his second skill again to run away from the enemy. That's his first 2 combos. I'm just gonna put it as one combo, because why the heck not, it's just one, it's just the same pattern, you're just going in a different direction. Now on to his first Flicker combo, Flicker ult combo. So in this one, you use 2 of his first skill phases, then use your Flicker with your 3rd phase of your first skill at the same time. It will run you either behind the enemy or at the side of the enemy, or the front of the enemy. If you're on the side or the front, use your second skill to go to the back of the enemy, then kick them. If you're already at the back of the enemy, just use your ult to kick them. The final combo I know that it takes a lot of practice to do is using his ult while flickering at the back of the enemy. That combo takes a lot of practice and timing. It is the only third combo I can actually use. I can only use 3 combos, so yeah, those are the only combos I will explain. So I'm very sorry if you guys wanna hear the freestyle combo, the other combos, but those are the only 3 combos that I normally use. So I'm sorry about that. And now that I'm done with that, let's get on to these builds and emblems. I think I've said this at the beginning of the video, but we will be using Assassin Emblem. This is an Assassin Chou guide after all. For the build, we start off with these tough boots. We do not fully build the tough boots until we finish Blade of Heptasis. I don't know how to pronounce Blade of Heptasis properly, so I'm very sorry. After you build the first tier of the boots that gives you 20 movement speed, next you build Fury Hammer. But don't complete Blade of Heptasis yet, by the way. If you want, you can, but the way I do things, I do not finish Blade of Heptasis. I only build Fury Hammer for extra penetration and damage. Next, I either go for Sky Piercer or Sea Halberd. Sea Halberd if the enemies have a lot of lifesteal and you need to anti-lifesteal them. And Sky Piercer if the enemies are squishy. Sea Halberd is a tentative item, you don't have to build it actually. It's literally just for that enemies that are very tanky, that have a lot of health regen, lifesteal, that is just for them. If not, it would normally be a Blade of Despair. But in that case, Blade of Despair would be at the last item instead of the third item. Or the second or the fourth. So yeah. In this match, I went with Sky Piercer first. No, Sea Halberd first actually. Before I did Sky Piercer. So after those 2 items, whichever you will build first, next you go with Hunter Strike. Hunter Strike gives a lot of extra movement speed for hitting enemies 5 times in a row, which Chou can do fantastically. Using 3 of his first skills and 2 of his basic attacks, you can instantly activate it. Malefic Law, I think we all know what that is for. Extra penetration. There's no need to explain that. Just extra penetration to do more damage. For the last item, like I said, you can either go for Blade of Despair if you do not build Sea Halberd. But if you only have Sea Halberd, then that's your entire build right there. Anyway, so now that's out of the way, let's go some in-game tips, shall we? One of the first in-game tips is at the very start of the game. This can be utilized at the start of the game. So on the start of the game, you normally have 2 choices. Cut the enemy lanes or help your jungler. For Chou users out there, it is advisable to go and cut the lanes instead of helping the jungler. Number one reason why? Well, Chou is a very squishy hero. So if you fought an enemy in your lane and the enemy knows what they are doing, so they are not giving you any minions, they are just targeting you specifically, you will lose your lane very fast. So cutting the lane would be the smart idea. Cut the lane before they even got to your minions, so they're already dead while your minions are still not yet dead. By that time, you can rotate around the map, help the mid laner or help the jungler then. But always try to cut your lane if you can, because most fighters out there can outmatch Chou. Only a few fighters out there that can outmatch Chou. So next in-game tip. Second tip, observe. Always try to observe your enemy heroes, enemy counterparts in the lane. Why? Especially that, well, as you saw in the start, I could not cut the lane. Due to some reasons, I just couldn't cut the lane. So instead of trying to kill the lane head on, I let Yuzong use his skills on the minions, or I check what skills he chose first. If you have an enemy example like Yuzong, if he picks the third skill first, avoid fighting him because there is a huge chance you will lose that fight if he hits you easily. But if we chose our first skill, you can easily engage him and overpower him with Chou. That said, if you hit all of your skills. So try to hit all of your skills as best as possible. Especially when you know that you can beat an enemy in the early game. Because in the early game, beating that enemy, that moment right there is the key to be getting a lot of gold against that enemy. Getting a huge gap against them. So try to do that as best as possible. If you cannot do that, please never feed in a Chou. Never try to feed in a Chou. If you can't beat the enemy, don't bother trying to last hit the enemy. Just get close enough to get the gold and EXP, then back off. Because if you feed, number one, your team's gonna bash you. They're gonna call you chose that meta, and they're gonna keep bashing you for the entirety of the game. Number two, you're not gonna have enough damage in the late game if you keep feeding. That's why this is an assassin Chou after all. And I think that's it for that part. And don't be greedy, like I am, like I do. I am very greedy with my Chou, so it's not a good thing. Certainly don't be greedy. And don't risk dying. Try your best to avoid dying best as possible. If you know you cannot kill the enemy in a swift move, do not try. Wait for your team for that specific enemy before you attack. Especially the enemies that you cannot stun. Heroes like Hanabi, while her shield is still active, wait for that shield to deactivate before you attack. Heroes like Mortis's second skill, wait for that to deactivate as well. Final tip that I can normally give you guys as a player who is just an average dude trying to help everybody. If you're losing, especially I don't think I've said this in most heroes, but Chou has a capability of split pushing. He can do a lot of damage against towers. So if you're losing a game and you see a small chance that you can split push, take that chance. Especially with a Chou that can split push and end the game. I think we've all had that experience. When you split push, I think it's all up to you and your team to for your team to distract and while you push. Because as you can see right here, that's what I did. Because we were losing. We are 100% gonna lose this match if I didn't do it. So always spot that opportunity. As you can see, I can easily end the game just like that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you out. This is tips and tutorials after all. So if you did, please don't forget to comment down below. Like and subscribe as well. It definitely helps me out. And this is T90. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye!